So YouTube, it's your boy Lewis. That's so back again for another video, man. Today we got a video uploaded by New Rockstars. This one's actually came out relatively not too long ago, like 3 or 4 hours ago. We have Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness trailer breakdown, Easter eggs, and details you missed. Now, I've been waiting for very much in particular for Eric Voss, aka Eric Voss from New Rockstars, to give his breakdown and Easter eggs, you know what I'm saying, details missed type of video, before I checked out some other ones such as potentially Cosmic Wonder and Heavy Spoilers. And I seen Heavy Spoilers is on the Explore page, but I said, you know what, I'm gonna check out Voss, and then maybe tomorrow we'll watch Heavy Spoilers to see if there's anything different of which he mentions, you know what I'm saying. Anyways, but his, I think, what's it called, Heavy Spoilers is shorter, so I probably should check his out. But I said I'm more familiar with Voss, so I'm just gonna watch him for the first time. Then tomorrow maybe we watch Heavy Spoilers. Anyways, with that being said, let's check this out. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness trailer breakdowns. A lot going on, a lot of theories, a lot of ideas. I'm going to be naming some of those within my reaction, so you know what I thought when I saw the reaction. If you haven't seen my reaction, definitely you can look at it right here. I even called out some things of which he's probably going to talk about. So with that being said, let's get it, man. Let's go. I don't want to talk too much, but before I do that, y'all let me know down below in the comments how today. Hopefully it's pretty good, but if it wasn't, hopefully this makes it just a little better.
Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and
yes.
The latest trailer for Marvel's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse.
It was a good trailer, man.
Us
I will always be
Charles Xavier. I said it.
Checkmate! We are getting an MCU Illuminati lineup, including Patrick Stewart, Charles Xavier. What is this movie? I gotta admit, I've outdone myself on this one, folks. Analyzing this trailer frame by frame for details I don't think anyone else is insane enough to see or to talk about.
This is why I watch him.
I'm also gonna include some stuff in the TV spot version of the trailer, and
all right, good.
In the official poster. And thanks to Truebill for sponsoring today's video. More on them later. Let's get started.
All right.
every night.
This is a good trailer, and Sam Raimi, you can tell it's his touch, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna try my best not to pause it too much because, like I said, this is an extremely long video and it's kind of late, so I'm trying to get this up, you know what I'm saying? And I also don't want to drag out the video.
The trailer opens in Strange's nightmare, a frightening
of the
hellscape
Sanctum
covered in
Sanctorum.
bones and skulls, dead trees bent askew, and in front of him, a representation of the Sanctum Sanctorum melting into inky nothingness like the other New York buildings we saw in the first trailer, all evoking the comic book ink melting in reality in What If Episode 4, except this isn't exactly Strange's Sanctum. It's significantly thinner than we last saw it in Spider-Man No Way Home, and it is 1 floor taller. The effect is a more gaunt structure, like a croaking haunted hotel. What was his healthy Sanctum Fortress is now a withering skeleton of itself. And notice in the sky is a glowing red
Someone pointed that out.
Reminding us, of course, of the red edges of Wanda Maximoff's hex reality in WandaVision. This whole nightmare could be being projected into Strange's mind by the Scarlet Witch. Since the commercials in WandaVision were confirmed to be messages from Strange to Wanda, these two share a psychic link. Now, this Strange has a patch of blue sewn in.
I noticed that. I was like, what does that mean?
Or what is that? Patch on blue of Defender Strange, who saves America Chavez in a second. Blue versus red seems to be an important point of contrast in this film.
I noticed that. Look, I don't know if I said in my reaction, I was like, I like what they're doing with the colors with the whole red and blue. I noticed how it's like kind of like a contrast type thing that's going on. See, this is what me and Eric Voss, we be on the same wavelength.
Shifted from his normal red tones to blue tone, along with a lot of the settings in this to signal passivity, all to contrast Wanda Maximoff's chaos and violence. Now, on the other side of the Sanctum doors, there's a reverse shot of Strange's entrance from the first trailer. Now we see how the stormy sea has claimed the whole Sanctum structure, save for the central staircase, which now extends up and up into nowhere like a trick, luring one to heaven, except it's not. It goes into this hellish red eye. And at the base of the staircase, these weren't there the past times we saw the Sanctum. Now these two statues, one male, one female,
maybe this isn't
maybe representing
a different Strange.
Then a teacup shatters on the ground. Behind it looks like the wheel of an old wheelchair. Now this isn't exactly the wheelchair of Professor X.
I was about to say it's not that,
but I suspect a lot is going to be changing for whatever cameos show up in this film. Then America America Chavez gets strung up in front of a star portal, which, if you look closely, opens up to endless more star portals within that portal. This is her best known power, to kick open these star-shaped portals, and we might actually be seeing the origin of her powers right here. We actually saw the same setting in the first trailer. I think it is her home reality, the Utopian Parallel. In the comics, the Utopian Parallel faces destruction from black holes, so her mothers sacrifice themselves, their particles dispersing throughout
it said
the
moms. I was like,
the
what?
creature attacking her here may be, go with me on this, the Demiurge, who is the embodiment of Earth's sentient life. In the comics, the original source of her powers, and we should mention, is one final form of Billy Kaplan, Wiccan, Wanda Maximoff's son, which could be how this film ties the fate of Wanda and her sons to that of America Chavez. Then again, the Demiurge hasn't really been shown to be this hostile, demonic. Actually, another possibility here, this entity's ribbony appearance, like glowing electrical tape, could connect to Strange's spell, the Crimson Bands of Cyttorak, which he used to restrain Thanos in Infinity War, which could make this fella maybe Cyttorak himself. Now, the TV shot actually showed in this moment an alternate Defender Doctor Strange, hair tied back in a ponytail with stripes, saving America Chavez from this thing, using what looks like a three-dimensional version of Strange's normal flat eldritch magic to hold off the entity, which would then lead to the shot we see in this trailer of that same ponytail Doctor Strange tumbling through a star portal.
For the longest time, I thought that character was Mads Mikkelsen, but nah, it's Strange.
That flips upside down to find
I thought it was
our Doctor Strange in bed. But is it our Doctor Strange? Because his hands are fully healed. When in past films, Strange's hands are always meant to be forever scarred and weak. There's an iPad left open on his bed, coffee filters into test tubes on his nightstand. Strange said in this part of the trailer that he has the same dream every night. Hell Sanctum, his alternate self saving a kid, and then the nightmare begins. So the nightmare might be this reality that he wakes up into, a reality where he never became a sorcerer, he never injured his hands, and really just aged into a lonely douchebag falling asleep with his Pornhub tab still open. Moving on.
Jeez, not the hub tab. It's only been a couple seconds of the trailer. He broke down a lot.
I think it's time to do.
I don't know what in the world that is. 5 minutes in.
What I had to do.
Now, when Strange says the nightmare begins, we should also acknowledge the possibility that the demonic entity Nightmare
I said that in my reaction.
Film, as this idea was floated by the original director Scott Derrickson.
He was the original
Marvel
villain.
Studios title card turns purple and has tentacles snaking across the letters, evoking the limbs of Gargantos, but also one of the multi-limbed creatures in What If, which this movie seems to be showing the live-action versions of. In fact, on the poster for this film, in the lower right corner, one broken shard of glass shows this shield of Captain Carter, hinting that Haley Atwell may show up in this film as a live-action version of that character.
That'd be pretty cool.
Doctor Strange conjures these red orbs. If you look closely, they're coming from the Darkhold on the floor there. That's Marvel Lore's Book of the Damned that appeared on WandaVision, first in Agatha's possession before it was claimed by Wanda. That's why the magic he conjures is now red, like Wanda's chaos magic, as we saw her conjuring in that final WandaVision scene. We could be seeing a depiction of the various universes being connected in this movie, with Doctor Strange trying to locate one world in particular. And in the foreground of that shot, that looks like that is Wanda Maximoff standing there with him. But then Strange, suddenly afraid, slams all this magic back into the book as if he's trying to hide it from the person in the room with him. And on that page, you can see a triangle, perhaps a symbol of Marvel's Illuminati, a location he wants to hide from Wanda Maximoff, for reasons I'll get to later as we move on.
To protect our world. You cannot control everything, Strange.
Sam Raimi. I got so excited to see him.
We don't know who or what will walk through it.
Don't know, but we're excited.
So Strange argues that he did what he had to do to protect our world. Our world, as in his actions saved his universe at the expense of all other universes. Strange used the Time Stone to give his universe an improper advantage to undo Thanos' snap, and more recently, he used his magic of the Runes of Kafkal to basically gaslight and warp society into a whole bunch of plot holes. Mordo warned us about this, that when Strange would push the laws of reality like this,
the bill comes
to
you. Always.
And like Strange in that What If universe bypassing an absolute point, this Strange's reality has begun to melt the same exact way and open itself up to interdimensional threats. We see a new look at this melting from the rooftop, individual bricks breaking off, cars floating in that blizzard, headlights still shining. Now the melting of the buildings here seems to merge into these black strands, reminding us of the Ancient One's dark branch timeline that she warned Bruce Banner about in Endgame. And here it's not just that reality is melting into nothing, but that chaos is spinning into one beneficiary destination. On to the next clip.
Alright.
Wanda, what do you know about the multiverse?
Viz had his theories.
I find it interesting that Vision
It was dangerous.
was the one who came up with the theories. The Minotaur. The green Minotaur
He was right.
creature.
So we see Scarlet Witch once again holding the seance in the Carmitage courtyard. We know that's where it is because you can tell from the statues behind her, in the floor beneath her, the same tiling that we see beneath that Minotaur sorcerer later. We get a better look of him in this trailer. This is Rintrah from the comics. But yes, the Scarlet Witch is probably the
Someone
one
said
attacking
that,
Carmitage,
so.
because actually in the TV spot, the sorcerers in that courtyard raise their shields to some floating figure overhead. I'm pretty sure that is Wanda. Now compared to her look at the end of WandaVision during the seance, her Scarlet Witch wardrobe has evolved. Her sleeves now cover her arms fully, and darker tones streak through her chest piece.
I like this outfit
also,
more.
as we pointed out before, the tips of her fingers are black. Similar to Agatha's fingers when she would use dark magic. And I like this right as we hear Strange say, Wanda. A shockwave blows out from her body. Now, in her orchard, if that is what it really is, Wanda tells Strange that Vision had theories about the multiverse that was dangerous. So, despite Vision warning Wanda, she still created an alternate reality in that Westview hex, and now continues to peer through alternate universes to find her children. And yes, this peaceful orchard with sheep is probably an illusion, because later in the trailer, as Wanda points out the double standard of Strange breaking the rules and him getting to be a hero, Strange is wearing the same outfit as he is here in the orchard, suggesting that Wanda is actually in a much darker place in this moment, both in her mindset and in her literal surroundings. Moving on.
See, this is what I'm talking about. He picks up on everything.
Your desecration of reality.
I really like the music too.
So
This is
Strange
dope.
brings America Chavez and Christine Palmer to the ruins of what I think is the Utopian parallel. And Christine wears this sleek blue outfit, and that's because this might actually be an alternate Christine Palmer who Strange found working at Illuminati HQ, because the TV spot reveals Christine in these clothes plus a white lab coat in their detainment sector. Then Mordo, or perhaps an alternate version of Mordo that might actually be Sorcerer Supreme from his native reality, detains Strange using these nifty looking handcuffs. And I love the design of these because it's a mix of analog sorcerer machinery with runes engraved into that spinning lock in the middle. But overall, they have this chunky silver chrome of something more futuristic, something that might be connected to the vibranium tech of these Ultron Sentries. Ultron Sentries! Who escort Doctor Strange in this awesome location that looks like a Supreme Court Hall of Justice. We see 4 kneeling winged statues, and then a warrior with a sword in a ring. The way a certain multiversal warrior, Captain Carter, emerged from a circular portal with her sword in hand. Now this whole interior, the glass ceiling, the curved staircases, the classic columns, is actually the interior of the British Museum in London, a place I've been to many times. I love the British Museum. It's famous for having the Rosetta Stone, one of the earliest artifacts that anthropologists have used to translate, decode, cross-reference old languages, which is super fitting for Charles Xavier to model his multiversal nexus point on such a cultural touchstone. Now, assuming this is Illuminati HQ, I find it fascinating the parallels between this and the Citadel of He Who Remains in Loki, which also had a lit tower, inner columns, and 4 statues in its central chamber, one of which was mysteriously destroyed. We never got an answer to what that was all about. Now, there are 6 chairs on the Illuminati panel, but we only see 3 members in this trailer. Could Kang have been a 4th member of the Illuminati who was cast out, leading to him constructing his own crude imitation of the...
That'd be the twist. I don't think anyone's... I haven't heard anyone bring up that theory at all. So Eric Voss, if this turns out to be true, man, you got creds for this.
Illuminati Citadel, a citadel, and a sham judicial
That'd be interesting,
of his
though.
own, run by 3 puppets. It's just a theory. Now, if you're keeping your fingers
I don't
crossed,
know, man. It's cool,
the
though.
baby collection in your mom's attic is going to regain its value and all of your money concerns will be gone, our friends at Truebill are here to help take some...
Hey, look, man, I have a beanie collection. I'm not even gonna lie. It's not even mine. It's my parents. Ah, dang. Look, we got hit with an ad. Good grief. I was trying to skip the sponsors, and then, we just Best of both worlds, right? All right, let's go.
We should tell him the truth.
Ooh, baby.
Whose
Yes,
voice
one
was
of the
that?
biggest reveals in MCU history, one that we will be unpacking for months to come.
Right.
Yes, that was the voice of
Patrick Stewart. Who else?
Professor
People were
Charles
seriously
Xavier
like
in the Fox
doubting
X-Men
themselves.
films, now in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a member of what is almost certain to be the Illuminati. Now, Marvel's Illuminati is a secret alliance of Tony Stark, Charles Xavier, Reed Richards, Doctor Strange, Black Bolt, and Namor.
Sometimes
Panther was
Black
initially
Panther.
gonna be part of it, but he
Yeah.
backed out. Actually, in Iron Man 2, Tony Stark had a little app on his phone labeled Illuminati.
It was
Fun little
not.
Easter egg there. But
Yeah.
here, the Illuminati, if they will still go by that name in the MCU, seem to be serving as a multiversal governing body with representatives from across universes. By bringing Fox X-Men characters into this, they're building on the meta logic from Spider-Man No Way Home. Marvel Studios is now adopting formerly separate cinematic universes as mere
Exactly,
universes
technically.
within their multiverse and expanding
Now
to the
for
Fox X-Men titles.
making
But
it
if
canon,
Patrick Stewart
in
is
a
a
way.
representative from a separate reality, that could limit how much of that separate reality we actually see
True.
in this movie, and which other Fox X-Men cameo just yet. Like Ian McKellen Magneto, Hugh Jackman Wolverine, maybe not. But Ryan Reynolds Deadpool, very likely, as he has been
Yes.
long confirmed to cross over to the MCU, and now that door has been opened. I mean, this could also give us some context, finally, to why Evan Peters was cast as Wanda's brother, Pietro, in her Hex. Now, yes, the show producers did say this is just a Ralph Boner joke, but the logic is all in place now. We never
Right.
saw Ralph after Wanda's Hex, so it could just be as simple as Wanda's ability to warp reality might have caused her to pull the likeness of a Pietro from the nearest adjacent universe. Like if Tom Holland Peter
That'd be
Parker would have
cool.
died
That'd
in the
be
MCU,
interesting.
Wanda Maximoff wanted to create a pocket reality where Peter was alive once more. The Peter in that Hex might look like
Andrew Garfield.
If that makes
Or
sense
Tobey
to you,
Maguire.
Evan Peters actually being Pietro from his Fox X-Men timeline, crossing over into WandaVision could make an equal amount of sense. Now, meanwhile,
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the Charles Xavier from the exact Fox X-Men timeline, whatever that was at the end of that series.
Point is Charles Xavier, whether it's from that series or not. I mean, that particular X-Men story or whatever, not it's Charles. I'm happy with that.
Because one thing that was clear is that Charles Xavier died in the year
Right.
2029 in Logan after it was
So
revealed
it's
he
not
accidentally
that
killed all
Charles,
the
but
X-Men, or most
another
of them.
Charles.
I think it's likelier that this Charles could be from a branch timeline within that universe, because time travel screwed up a lot of stuff there, let's be
Yeah.
honest. He actually could be something closer to a live-action version of the X-Men 97, a version of Charles Xavier
Someone
that existed
said
in a
that.
branch timeline and eventually discovered multiversal
Like an
technology.
older,
Now,
like,
yes, there are 6 chairs.
1990s.
So let's try to fill these chairs, who they belong to. 2 of the figures are seated, and one walks in with a cane.
That's Tom Cruise's superior Iron Man. I don't care what no one says.
So I'm wondering if this could be Charles, who in this form has found his ability to walk once more. Now the seated
Gotcha.
figure on the left wears a form-fitting suit that you could say looks a lot like the vibranium armor of Black Panther. And yes, this Illuminati lineup may include a new actor playing a variant T'Challa. However, I think this particular figure just looks a bit more slender in the arms, like Reed Richards. But that would also make it less likely to be John Krasinski. Yeah, let's be honest, he's jacked, Ryan.
I mean,
Let's slide
I
over
don't
to
know.
that other seated figure who is hooded. Could this be Sorcerer
Doom?
Supreme Mordo?
Okay.
Or Alt-Reality Photon or Spectrum Monica Rambeau? Or were those Ultron sentries a clue that one member of this panel is actually Ultron Infinity from What If? Or that
No
brilliant ship
way.
Theseus White Division from WandaVision? But
No
my favorite version
way.
of this would be this could be a reality in which Tony Stark's Ultron protocol actually
Actually
succeeded
works.
instead of turning on him, which led to him being able to evolve into the
Superior
superior Iron
Iron
Man,
Man.
one played by
Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise.
Dun, dun, dun. I'm
We've
dead
heard this
serious.
speculation for years,
Yeah.
and now it just seems all possible, doesn't
Yeah.
it? But let's focus
It's
on what
Tom
Charles actually
Cruise.
says here. We should tell him the truth. What truth? The truth that Strange maybe didn't do anything wrong, or that him becoming a sorcerer was a mistake, or that all this is just some Kang exposed sham organization? Perhaps, but I think the truth here is that the MCU that we have loved all these years is not the core reality of this multiverse. That instead, we have actually been living in an incomplete post-House of M reality.
I
where
knew it.
we
He's about to
still
go with the
have
whole
been
WandaVision thing. So apparently, I've been hearing this theory a lot. Basically, that somehow, some way, I don't know the full details of it, but basically, Wanda has already done the whole no more mutants thing, and that by the end of this film is going to be somewhat revealed that there were mutants all along, and that Wanda was the one who like did this. Like, yo, oh my gosh, this movie is so crazy, bro. I haven't felt this way about a movie in like theories since like Spider-Man was pretty close. Spider-Man No Way Home was close, but like I think the most I felt for like I don't know, like there's so many different theories and ideas and ways we can go about this, and like I just don't know, would probably be like Avengers Endgame. Like remember when people were speculating about that and there was like little to no information about what's going on. People thought Silver Surfer was going to show up. People thought Galactus was going to show up. The Celestials were going to show up. Like people thought there was going to be like two different villains for Avengers Endgame. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what this is kind of feels like to me, bro. Because it's like so much is going on, and literally at this point, anything is possible.
Erased this whole time.
I'm excited. I'm just excited.
And now it is time to fix that. Let's move on.
All right. He didn't really look. There's dinosaurs. I didn't even notice until someone said that.
Things just got out of hand.
Okay, some real bonkers shit here. Doctor Strange and America Chavez fall through a reality with dinosaurs, a T-Rex fighting a Triceratops.
Are we going to see? Are we going to see Kazar? Kazar, is that how you say it? Kazar, the one character in Marvel who's kind of like the. He's like what's a good equivalent? He's like King. He's like Tarzan, but Marvel. That's the best way I can describe it.
Into an animated cartoon reality. This could be one way doors open to crossover. Insanely smash into an animated cartoon reality.
What?
This could be one way doors open to crossovers with What If.
I didn't even catch that.
Animated Captain Carter gets roped into this. Then Strange America explode into cubic puzzle pieces. A visual that looks like a mix of Drax's Reality Stone hit in Infinity War and Joe Quesada's art of the Scarlet Witch on the House of M variant cover. Some of their blocks look like stones from a statue, and you can actually see the rows of Steven's individual teeth still intact in his gums on each block. On to the next clip.
That was Superior Iron Man.
You break the rules.
I don't care what no one says.
To become a hero. I do it. I become the enemy.
So yeah,
Good point,
it looks
Wanda.
like Wanda will invade Illuminati HQ.
See, I said that because like if you look at the shot, literally, it looks like it's the same headquarters of where they just took Strange. You know what I'm saying? The Illuminati headquarters.
Invade Illuminati HQ and get into a huge brawl with.
And if you heard leaks, you kind of already knew this was coming.
Looks like they're going binary the way Captain Marvel does. But if you look at that person closely, this is a woman of color. Now, I know some of you think this is Tom Cruise with a goatee, but that's just a contouring of her cheeks. Tom Cruise's figure is not this womanly, folks. This is definitely either Monica Rambeau or her mother, Maria
All right,
Rambeau.
look.
Maria Rambeau's call sign was Photon, and in the main MCU, she died of cancer during the blip. But in
Okay, look. That image I cut. So if you go to Cosmic Wonders page, there's like 3 different images. In 2 of the images, it looks like Tom Cruise is Superior Iron Man. In 1 of the images, it looks like a woman of darker skin who could be Photon. It's either between those 2 individuals of who that is. However, why couldn't it be both? You know what I'm saying? Because there's like, for a lot of people don't know, there's another TV spot for this movie. Is Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness Super Bowl TV spot. It's just like a 30-second clip. And if you look in that and you zoom in and you enhance the image, it's like the character is just shooting straight up. And if you look at him, you see the mask and you see there's a mustache. I'm sorry, but Monica Rambeau does not have a mustache. That image clearly displayed Tom Cruise's Superior Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? Now in that shot, definitely, it did look like Rambo. Like it looked like the person had darker skin. However, in the other shot, I'm certain that's Tom Cruise's Superior Iron Man.
This is Tom Cruise with a goatee, but that's just a contour.
Let me see if I can find it.
Cheeks. Tom Cruise's figure is not this womanly, folks. This is definitely either Monica Rambeau or her mother, Maria Rambeau. Maria Rambeau's call sign was Photon, and in the main MCU, she died of cancer during the blip. But in WandaVision, Monica Rambeau powered up into the superhero we assume will either be Photon or Spectrum, and the moment that happened, her body was split into several alternate selves as she passed through that hex wall. And I think one of those alternate selves could be this one we are seeing.
All right, I found it. So look. Well, I don't know if I should show you guys because you guys really can't see it. I mean, if you go to Cosmic Wonders Instagram page, you can scroll. There's 3 images of where we see a character who's like, you know, who's basically like looks like they're powered up or whatever. And 2 of those shots, I'm looking at this page, and 2 of those shots, if you zoom in and look, it literally looks like the same design. It looks like a man. It doesn't look quite as you can see a mustache and there's like a grit on his face. And then you look in this one, you zoom in, you can see a mustache. It looks like a man. It looks like a man in the body. And then in this shot, it does indeed look like Monica Rambeau. So I'm thinking either it's both of them or it's Tom Cruise all the way.
Now, if you think about it, Monica fighting Wanda seems to be the most epic collision, considering these two were both there.
And plus, rumors were going wild like a couple of days ago that apparently Tom Cruise's superior Iron Man supposedly is going to be the strongest, most powerful variant of a character we've ever seen. And that was before the trailer, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying.
Battle of Westview in WandaVision. Then we see the attack on Camartage in the tea room that we saw in the 2016 film, including Master Hamir returning from that film. Then a close-up of America Chavez gives a good look at her wardrobe. Stars embroidered on her jean jacket, along with the phrase "Amor es amor," love is love, and a flag pin signaling some LGBTQ plus representation. Gargantos throws the bus with an ad on the end for La Llave Coffee, the key, with the tagline "Unlock a better day." And then over to the left, a phone booth has an ad for Celestial Tea, the magic of tea. Then I love this shot. Strange looks up at another alternate sanctum with a statue out front, a statue that has no facial hair, though in this New York, greenery and oddly curved wind turbines cover all the buildings, and white flowering trees line the streets. Trees like the ones in Wanda's fake orchard. So in Strange's nightmare, we saw the darkest timeline. Here, this looks like the brightest timeline, where a variant Strange has used his powers only to better society.
Some people thought that was Sinister Strange. Or was it Strange Supreme or Sinister Strange? One of the two. Catherine the Great. You call yourself the Great? Yes.
That doesn't seem fair.
It looks like Chavez's hand extends further than it should, doesn't it? Like she's stretching.
So interesting. Two Wandas meet each other, and this is Wanda's Westview house in WandaVision. You can see two scooters in the background belonging to her sons, Billy and Tommy. One of their baseball gloves on the floor there. But this place is wrecked. The staircase handrail, the balusters are broken, as if there was a fight between these two Wandas. And the standing one is the one who is barefoot. Youch. I actually wonder if this kneeling Wanda tried to recreate the Westview hex to have her children once more, but failed. And now, defeated, she's letting the darker side of her identity take over. If you think about it, the last time we saw her in WandaVision, her consciousness was split into two conscious selves. Something people who astrally project normally can't do. There was one in casual wear brewing tea, and then the other one in the Scar the Witch form searching for her kids actively. And now, I am wondering which of those two is actually the deadlier threat. The one who's searching for her kids, or the one who's just sipping tea, not giving up? We see that shot again of Mordo striking Strange's cuffs. Now I'm wondering if Mordo might be doing this on purpose to free Strange so that Strange can help them fight this invading Scarlet Witch. But it might be too late because a huge explosion from red chaos magic tears through the HQ, leading to these elaborate fireworks as we think Rambeau's form gets blasted through that explosion. Then this other sorcerer uses a sick move with a lasso to attack Gargantos. The TV spot actually showed America Chavez beneath this gross underbelly. And in these close-ups, you can see how each of its tentacle suckers are actually barbed with teeth.
Gross.
Then this gnarly shot of Wanda aiming red chaos magic. She's at the doorway of Illuminati HQ. Her face is bleeding like crazy. And separately, she has black ink stains on her shirt. Behind her in the distance looks like one of the bells of Camartage. Perhaps after sacking that location and holding her seance there, she used that to access the gateway to this compound. But why does she want to get in here? Well, when the camera zooms into her eye, there's a brief image of two holding cells. These are Illuminati detention cells. Doctor Strange was cuffed in one of these, and in the TV spot, Christine Palmer works among other techs.
Chavez is in
America in another cell. So I think the reason Wanda has been able to find a reality with her sons, the reason why her attempt to recreate Westview didn't work, is that the Illuminati are detaining Billy and Tommy here in these two cells. And for Wanda, that's especially infuriating because it's exactly what Hydra did to her and her twin brother, locking them up in adjacent cells. Like in the comic House of M, all of this madness comes from a denial by
Wanda, we talked about
Doctor
this
Strange to allow Wanda reality with her children. And it's gonna end with Wanda drastically warping all that reality. But in this case, I think a restoration of mutants alongside Avengers in the MCU. On to the final clip.
I think that's possible. That's Strange, Zombie Strange, isn't it?
So we end with a version of of Doctor Strange and Wong on this snowy mountaintop trying to rein in these demonic figures. These beings look like they're actually made of the same inky texture that the buildings and the other surfaces are melting into, as if this is the chaos that it's all bleeding into. Now the TV spot actually shows Strange facing another peak across the way with some winged devil at the peak of it. That spot also shows a close-up of Strange whose face is rotting away, looking a lot like his zombie Strange one of episode 5. I pointed out because the TV spot also includes a shot of Wanda looking especially zombie. Now, while Zombie Strange in that episode got devoured by ants, Zombie Wanda survived and she returned in the final episode. So I don't know if these are zombies as much as they're just animated corpses, but it is insane to see their souls so strong that they can keep their bodies intact long after their flesh should have expired. The final shot shows this rotting Strange blocking a rift into darkness. Dozens of inky skeletons trying to shove out past him. A skeleton artist
visually this movie is going to be spectacular.
Evoking the images of Icon pose that he formed when fighting Thanos in Infinity War. Now counteracting that spell was the one time we saw the Soul Stone being used in the MCU, and I find it interesting that Strange's soul is all he has left. The film title comes together from hundreds of pieces, like the shattering and reassembling shards of reality in this movie, but this is the third title design we've seen. It's almost like the studio wants us to constantly reframe the reality in which we see this movie every time
I do like the newer
title.
So
you gotta check out our new merch options, including 2 sick Mephisto designs at newrockstarsmerch.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EABoss. Follow New Rockstars. Subscribe to New Rockstars for more analysis of everything you love. Thanks for watching. Bye.
All right, man. Voss did a great breakdown right here, man. Very much enjoyed watching that. Hopefully, I didn't take up too much of your time. I agree with majority of everything he said, and in fact, he even stated some of which ideas and theories of which I even pondered upon a little bit. However, the only thing is, yes, in that one particular shot, I've even Cosmic Wonder noted this. In that one particular shot, it does look like an African American individual. We're just gonna say woman, and it does look like potentially Photon or Rambo or Monica Rambo or Maria or whatever. However, there are 3 other images, especially in the TV spot version of the trailer, where the character is coming up, and it's not a close up, but it's close enough to where you change the image, you res it up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Expand it. It looks like a character with a mustache, and it literally looks, I'm holding on to that. I think as Tom Cruise's superior Iron Man. I'm standing on that. With that, I don't care. We're gonna see the movie, and if I'm wrong, you know what I'm saying, I'm a man, you know, I can say I'm wrong. However, I'm 80% sure that Tom Cruise's Iron Man was shown in one of these TV spots or trailers, and that he is indeed in the film. I'm 100% sure. I'm like 80%. No, I'm not 100. I'm like 80%. I'm like 80%. 20% Monica Rambeau, 80% Tom Cruise, superior Iron Man. Now, although in my trailer reaction, if you noted, I did say Jean Grey, because I heard there were a couple of rumors saying that potentially Jean Grey would be able to show up, played by Sophie Turner. And so instantly I saw the flames and the aura. I was like, oh, Jean Grey. But I think it makes more sense to be superior Iron Man or Rambo. But y'all let me know down below, what are your thoughts on this, your thoughts, theories, and ideas. You can disagree with me, you can agree with me if you want. It doesn't matter, because May 6th, all our theories shall be put to rest when we finally view this glorious film, of which I hope does exceedingly well, even surpass that of Spider-Man. So let's be honest here, because Spider-Man kind of leapt into it, but this is we're gonna explore this idea, and so many things are said to be taking place. So I just can't wait. With that being said, y'all let me know down below in the comments what your thoughts. Shout out to New Rockstars, man. Finally got the video out. I was definitely looking forward to checking your video out first before I watch any other breakdown. Make sure you follow, like, comment on their stuff, turn notifications when they post. Come back over here, do the same thing. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitch, follow me on YouTube. You also follow me on Instagram at LeroySSO. Send you to the channel. With that being said, peace.